I might be.
Hello, hello, and welcome to episode 88 of CoCreative NoCode's Office Hours. I'm Tonya, your host and co-creative bubbler. I'm here also with our CoCreative NoCode member, Thomas, and Kim, our Kim. If this is your first time joining us for Office Hours, you might be watching us live on Facebook, or maybe you're catching the replay on YouTube. We do office hours every single day of the week, Monday through Friday, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Thomas is here with me every single session. So is Kim. So you've got your core crew here right now, and we'd love to meet you. So if you would like to come and see what office hours is all about, go ahead and join the CoCreative NoCode Facebook group, and then comment on one of the lives, and Kim will send you a link to join us for your complimentary session. And perfect timing, just as I finish that, Brittany is going to come on with her question. So this will be her first time to office hours. And Thomas, did you have anything for us today?
Nope, just tuning in.
Just tuning in. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Perfect. We'll just wait for Brittany's audio to come up. I'll go ahead and open our
I am
sandbox.
so unbelievably colorblind. It's unbelievable.
Why do you say that? Which colors are you having trouble with right now?
Usually white is a bit strange. Blue and green in general. No red and green. But I'm testing a little sample color on the borders of my apartment because I just want to repaint stuff. Previous sentence didn't really do much. And I can't tell if it's gray or white. Looks pretty gray.
Let's see here. And Mohamad is joining us today. Hi, Brittany. Welcome.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm good.
Welcome to Office Hours.
Wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So do you have something for us to work on today?
I was trying to figure out how to display photos with the uploader.
Sure.
It only saves it. So I have it where it can save the pictures in the database, but it doesn't display them on the page.
Sure. Do you want to, I'll stop sharing and you can share your screen and we can have a look.
Okay, sure. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Hold on one second.
No worries. There's generally like a green button at the bottom that says share.
Yeah, let me see.
While you're working on that,
okay.
I wanted, okay, perfect. Yes, Kim, that's a good keyword, multi-uploader or multi-file uploader.
Yes, can you see my screen?
I can.
Okay, so I was working on something else. Let me exit out of that. So the multi-file uploader. So right here is where I have the cells trying to view the pictures, but so I have a pop-up. Let me go to the pop-up. So this is the pop-up that I created with the multi-file uploader, and it will drop the photos in here, and then I have a repeating group here that's getting the file content from this multi-file uploader. But the pictures will upload in here, and then I have a workflow. Once you hit the save button, it will make these changes, meaning save the photos that were in the uploader. And I also saved it as the files right here. And then it will hide the pop-up and refresh the page. but after I click the save button, the photos appear here for a minute, but then when it's refreshed, they go away. So I'm gonna show you once I hit, preview it. Well, let me, I need to use this as, I'm not sure what happened here. Hold on. I need to.
We can only see the one tab that you have.
Oh.
It seems like you didn't share the whole screen with us.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how do I?
If you stop sharing and share again, you can share the whole screen, and then we should be able to see your preview tab as well.
Okay, stop sharing. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to log in as one of the users that can, let me find. So can you still see it?
Yep, now I can see it.
Okay, so I'm not sure what's going on with this thing. So this is how the profile should look. And you see right here is where the pictures are supposed to be displayed. But for some reason, it's only displaying 2 photos and then it's like skipping cells. So I don't know.
That is that missing borders on the other cells leads me to believe there's something really kind of funny going on. But let's just check it out. If you go back into your editor, into that repeating group that's on the page and not in the pop-up, I want to check out what it's looking for.
Okay. I had to find out what I did. Okay. So this repeating group right here.
Yep. So yeah, so that repeating group, what you're wanting to do is use the data source of the user.
So
because you said, and you're going to have a slight issue there because you've saved each of the pictures in its own field. So it's not in a format that's going to be repeating group friendly yet. So what I would do is let's first make the change here and actually, yeah, let's go to the workflow and make changes to user.
Okay.
And then one of the, you can go ahead and keep what you have for now, but at the bottom, add another field. And then click there and go down to the bottom where it says add a new field, create a new field. And then make this one images. And then of type image, and then click the button to make it a list. Yep. Did you? Yeah, perfect. And now add multi-file uploader A's value. Actually, you have all of those are lists. But you were just adding.
Yeah. So for some reason, a video that I watched on YouTube told me that I needed to have the pictures saved individually. So that's why I did it that way. And I was thinking that it was supposed to be a list of photos.
Yeah, I think a list is better. So now that we have that one list with all of the photos in it, which is the images field, let's go back to that repeating group on the page.
Okay.
And then we'll change that repeating group source.
Is it on there? Yes, okay.
Source, and then how do we know? So is this page that we're looking at just for the current user's use, or are other people going to see it too?
Other people are going to see it.
Okay, so then it would be current page users. Images. Yeah.
I can't find it. Oh, I see it.
If you just start typing images, it'll show up for you. And that's it. Okay. And so now I'm assuming when you are adding them in the pop-up and you click save, that the current user and the current page user are the same user, right?
Yes, because they're the only ones that can see the add pictures button.
Okay,
So-
let's just try it out and see if that works better.
For some reason, when I have to
It's all right. It's a stressful day for the internet, I think.
right.
I hope it gets better.
Okay, so if I add pictures and see, these are the pictures that I've been just adding randomness, trying to make sure it works. So I'm going to add a few pictures and see. Oh,
Oh, is that your little one?
yes, this is my family.
He's so cute.
Thank you.
I was looking at baby pictures
Okay.
of my 12-year-old.
Yeah, time goes by so fast.
It does.
Yeah, my mom's like, I wish you were a baby. So I'm like, girl, stop.
Mm.
Leave me.
Yeah.
So it did not work.
Okay, that's okay. Let's go. That's probably because the references in the cell are wrong. So let's go
Okay.
and say current cells image. So click on that. Current cells image. And we did make the repeating group of type image, right?
I think so. Hold on. Yes.
Okay. Let's see, why wouldn't that be working? Let's go into the, nope, leave it as it is, because that should be right. Let's try it. Current cells image URL.
Okay.
I don't know if, let's just refresh the page on the other page and see. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, so, oh, no. Let's see here. Okay, so we definitely know who the user is. So that didn't work. Let's go back to the repeating group. Current cells image. So you can take the URL off because current cells image should be fine. Then let's go to the repeating group and let's just check on the repeating group. It's type image, current page users, images. Right.
Do you think I
go
need
to the database?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, do I need to take these off?
No, that shouldn't matter.
Okay.
If you go to the database, just go to app data and go to the user that you're logged in as and open it up to edit.
Okay.
And the little pencil icon. Yeah.
And these are the files here. That's the
So images, we're looking for the portfolio files you have.
right here.
But I want to see the images. So we do have some images, but the images aren't rendering.
Well, they're
no, like so we changed, but if you look up from where you are, where it says
oh,
images.
I see. Okay. I see.
So it has an image in there, but it's not rendering. So I wonder if there's some problem with that. Well, let's try changing go to the repeating group again, since we already have some images in the portfolio image. Is that a list? It looks like it's a list.
Portfolio. Let's see. Hold on. I had that under. So I made a few groups because I didn't data types because I wasn't sure what was going on. So I made one data type of a portfolio itself, and then I have it under the user as well. So our
portfolio image list of images. Okay, that's fine. So let's change on the design page tab there in the repeating group. let's say current page users and then portfolio image. There you go. And then go and refresh the page and see if that works.
Yep, it looks like it did. Yes, it did. So it's showing all of them now. I've been trying this for a while, but this cell is empty. I'm not exactly sure
Yeah,
why
there's
that is.
something wrong with that file. It's
Okay.
yeah, there's for whatever reason that's not rendering on the page, but clearly your repeating group is working now. So
Okay. Thank
yeah.
you so much. I've been
You're so
struggling
welcome.
with this thing. Okay.
So, well, now we just need to make sure that the workflow is adding those pictures to
Okay.
the portfolio image list. And so we probably can deprecate the other lists, which just means like delete the other fields off of the data type
Okay.
itself. And then you just want to make sure that your workflow is, yeah.
So go ahead and delete these.
Just actually take off, what you want to do is take off multi-file uploader A's, just take off the item number 1
Okay.
there at the very end, just delete that. Okay, and then delete the rest of those.
Okay. Okay.
Delete the whole lines. Yeah.
Okay. And are we going to, yeah, that's the one that's saving the files. Do I need?
But I don't think you need to save the files separately. It's saving the same thing. It's just redundant. And the same with the images. You can take that off. I'm not entirely sure why that wasn't working, but
so
yeah.
let's preview.
So the thing is when you are adding pictures now, you're only adding them. You're not taking any away. Right. So if you wanted to be able to delete some of the files, you'd have to create a workflow for that, like an X button or something.
So even if let me go back to the workflow. So whenever they go to the pop-up, no, that's the wrong pop-up. And say I have it to where the files will still be here when they come back to this pop-up to add pictures. So even when they hit delete from this, it's not going to delete the picture.
Right, because that's deleting it off. So what's happening is when you add the pictures, it's adding it onto a state on that that multi-file uploaders element, right? But what you're doing is you're actually adding the files to the database thing. Right. And right now you don't have any workflows that will delete a file from the database thing. So if you wanted to test this and see how it's working, you're probably going to want to add like a trash can or some sort of icon for deleting in your repeating group anyway. So we can just go ahead and build that out is probably the easiest thing.
So will I build that here or on the main page where they can delete from here? Like say I will put a trash can here.
Yeah, no, I would just put it in, I'd probably, so like with the same condition that you have it so that only the current user, if they're on their own page, can add pictures, you'd put that same condition on the delete icon, whatever you decide to use. And then I would put it inside the repeating group cell itself. And that way we can make a workflow to delete that specific image.
Okay. So I will need to, that's not big enough, but I'll change that. Let's refresh. I don't know if all of this is, I want it black, but.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, I guess I would have to make this smaller. So my question is, if I put the trash can over.
It should be fine.
Okay. And I'm gonna make it a little bit smaller. Okay, so now I would need to start a workflow.
And now you're going to make changes to a thing from data. Yep. And the thing to do would be the current page. Yeah, it wouldn't, you could do the current user, it would be fine. Current user, the portfolio image.
Profile. Right, okay.
And you want to do remove current cells file or current cells image.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, let's see how that. Okay. Oh, wow, that's perfect. Look at that. Thank you so much. Oh,
you're so welcome.
I have been struggling with this thing, and I moved on because I've been working on that for like a week. So I keep trying to come back to it and then trying something else, but
we know how that goes. So,
and right now, I don't know if we have time for another question because I'm on the same page, but this is what I've been working on this. I don't know if this is against the rules or anything to ask a different ask a
different question. No, it's no problem. Let me just check because Thomas said he didn't have anything for us today. But let me check with Mohamad, who's here.
Okay.
And see if he has anything. And then we'll circle back to you for sure.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Hey, Mohamad.
Yeah. Hey, how are you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not bad, thank you.
How can we help today?
The thing is, I'm not 100%. There's one problem that I'm trying to solve, and it's sort of the one we spoke about in the group yesterday. In terms of limiting the sort of API code you can do.
Sure.
But we can go back to Brittany and then come back to this one if that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah.
Brittany, he's saying go ahead with your question.
Okay, so let me share my screen again so I can show you. So on the same page, I am doing reviews where the freelancer. So my app is where freelancers can get orders from business owners to help them with their business, with their small businesses. So I'm allowing the freelancer to come to the business page to rate how well they were working with the business owner or whatever. So I have the rating all set up, but I wanted it to where they could leave comments and it would show on that business page only their comments, only their ratings. But right now it's showing all ratings. So when this
oh, you mean to filter it by the business ratings, that business's ratings. Okay, sure.
So when the leave a review button is clicked, this pop-up shows up and they can rate by star rating and the comments are here. So when they hit the submit rating, it makes the changes to the actual star rating, and then it creates a new rating as in the stars value, the comments that were put it on the comment page, and I have the review user displaying as the current page user. I'm not sure if that's right, but so in the workflow, I'm going to show a preview of what I don't know why.
That actually looks great, by the way. Like the way you have it set up looks fine. It's probably just a constraint missing on the repeating group.
Right, because it's showing all of every single rating and not just the rating,
not just
specifically
business.
For right. So let me go back to the repeating group. So how I have it set up is,
yes, Kim, that's fine.
Okay, so I have it set up as a type of content as rating and to do a search for ratings. I was trying to figure out if, I don't know if this constraint is right, and maybe that's what's making it not show up.
Okay, so that's actually not a constraint, that's the sort. So you'd add a new constraint. click there, and
Oh,
then just
wow.
make sure that the review user equals current page user. There you go.
Okay. Okay, so I was like, what is going on? So do I need this? Oh, you're right. It's a sort by field. Okay. So do I even need this?
I would probably sort it by the date and then have it descending yes. So
Okay.
sort by date created and descending yes. That way the most recent reviews are at the top.
Right. I was trying to figure out how to do that too. So do I need this?
So you,
okay.
you don't
created
actually
date.
change. Yeah, so exactly. Perfect.
Okay.
There.
All right.
You should be set now.
Oh, I always have all these pop-ups on my computer.
How long have you been bubbling?
Only about 2 months. I learned pretty quickly, but
Yeah, you have. Good work.
okay, it works perfect. Oh man, but this I have to, because I wanted to take it to the freelancer page who made that specific rating, but it's not showing their name for some reason. See, I have it submitted by current page users ratings.
Oh,
creators.
so
I
in
didn't
this
get
case, it
finished.
would be current page users ratings. No, so try that again. So submitted by, so click where you have current page user, say current parent groups ratings creator.
Okay.
Creator, and then their name.
Right. Okay.
And then the data to send would be the parent group's ratings creator.
Perfect. This is so awesome.
Yeah.
I'm
We
so
do this
thankful
every
for
day
the
of the
help.
week. Did
Really?
you know that? We're here. Yeah. So if you wanted to consider joining the membership, it's $49 per month.
Okay.
And you can come every day of the week if you want, like Thomas.
Okay.
And this is what we do. We do it Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. Pacific time.
Okay, so I'm actually really interested. Let me write. So the message that was sent through Messenger, can I respond through that way?
Yeah, Kim would be happy to help you for sure.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Awesome. Shall we get some rate limits going, Mohamad?
Yeah, sure. That's fine with you.
Awesome.
I can kind of explain how it currently works. So I've kind of got 8 pricing packages. 4 of them are monthly, and then the other 4 are yearly packages. And yeah, I'm pretty much just trying to set an API limit based on which package people choose to subscribe with.
Okay.
And yeah, I watched the Loom video you sent yesterday as well.
Sure. That was sort of a simplified version of like what you needed.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I didn't 100% understand it.
Yeah. Well, let me try it in our sandbox. I'll share my screen.
Okay.
So the first thing is, so you have different plans that the users belong to, right? So how are you keeping track of that? Is that in a data type, or are you using option sets?
I don't think we have a single option set yet. So I think it's all in data type right now.
It's all in a data type. And so you have a data type called subscription or something like that, or plan?
Yeah, plans, I think.
So plan. Okay. So in my plan, I'm going to have a frequency, and this will be like probably a number, right? So it would be 30 if you're running it like
pause?
Yeah, so the frequency of the plan, so how often they're charged for their plan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Is that how you're keeping track of it, is number of days or something else?
I have the same one, I have frequency, but this one's as a text and it just says monthly or yearly.
Monthly, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Monthly or yearly, okay, and then the next thing would be like the rate limit, right? So you're gonna offer
Yeah.
them different number,
Yeah.
okay. And so each user, unless you're using a user profile, so each user is gonna have a plan that relates back to that user. So here I would say user of type user. And
Okay.
then maybe in the user data type, I might even say plan of type plan. Just have it cross-referenced.
Yeah.
All right, so now what I have is I have the basis for making a formula call. So if I'm going to have, depending on where you're running your API calls, every time you run the call, you're just going to check the limit, and you'll probably have a counter, right?
Yeah.
And you'll like a counter for API call counter for each person. So we would have user of type user. The reason I do this instead of just using the created by for anybody who's interested is because when you're creating test data, it's really easy to corrupt everything. And if you ever need to go in and fix something for someone as an app admin or as a different user, then you would want to be able to specify it separately from the system defaults. So user and then count is number. And then probably you'd want an reset date, like as a date or something like this, because you might just reset it you schedule it out, right, in your backend workflows. So something's got to reset it. So I'm just going to put a reset date here, right? And so the API call counter, so you can either count up to or count down from.
All right.
I'd probably count down. So every time that a payment is made, I'd reset this count. And then I'm going to reference this count. I would set the count based on the user's plan, which is going to say the number that they're allowed. And then the count here would count down until they run out, and then the calls wouldn't happen anymore. So the way this would look is in my backend workflows. Here, I'll just say. So I'm gonna pretend that making changes to the current user is the API call. My condition here is when current users API count. Oh, I didn't set it up that way. Hang on a second. API counters count is greater than 0.
Yeah, okay.
Right. And then here I would make changes to thing, and it would be current users API counter count would be this API call counters count -1.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yep. And then I'm going to have probably a recurring event to reset the counter.
Excuse me.
And so you would just set this recurring from the other, like from the other page, you would set the recurring based on the frequency, either monthly or annually.
Okay.
And then this will reset it to the rate limit as often as it needs to. And that way you can make sure that you're always counting down and keeping track.
Okay.
So is that making sense, or did you need help applying it?
No, I think I should be able to apply it myself, to be honest. It was a lot more straightforward than I thought.
Okay, yeah,
But
it's not too
there's
bad.
one more question I kind of had in regards to that, because the API
Yeah, of
I've set
course.
up is kind of triggered by two different inputs. One input is for like a LinkedIn link, and then the other one is triggered with an email address. So in order to kind of just stop both of them from being used, I just have to add it into the workflow as like when
So you
that
can
number is 0.
disable, yeah, you could actually disable the inputs based on the counter.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And so
Okay, yeah.
when you run the API workflow, you're changing the counter, and then the inputs themselves there would be a condition disabling them when the counter is 0. The current user's API counters count is less than 1.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense now.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thomas, did you come up with anything in the meantime?
Nope. Going back and forth, really.
Okay. Are you still struggling with colors? Do you need like our input on colors?
So I figured it out, or I'm making a wild assumption here, because I'm painting my walls. I don't get much time to do this, so I just want to touch it up. That's what I've been doing.
Okay.
Tuning in and out.
Got it. Hey, Jordan, how's it going?
Hey, Tonya, I'm good. How are you?
Good. Do you have something for me today?
What have I got? Nothing really.
No, just tuning in.
Yeah, I'm just sort of building away. I was got up early, so can't go to the gym, you see. So
Got it.
jump on.
Lockdown. This is the result of lockdown. I haven't seen you in a while, and lockdown happened.
Yeah.
I get to see you. It's good.
The only thing I was really thinking is with what we were talking about yesterday with that kind of password list. There's no way to sort of sync the databases together, is there? So that you can use the kind of password list.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't sure what that was used for. Like, I'm not entirely sure the use case for that. I would just use my own database.
Use your own database.
Yeah. I mean, if there's a reason to use it that I'm not thinking of, but like
The only
wanting
reason
me,
is sometimes we don't have people's email addresses,
Okay.
but we always have their phone number. So I like with Kata password list, you can log in with either.
Okay.
So if I don't have their email address,
Yeah, that would make sense.
and I send them, because I can send it to them as an SMS.
Okay. And then they could log in through their phone.
They can log in through their phone, but it looks like with the magic link, you can't do that.
Right. Okay.
And the other thing is sometimes, you know, like the emails that we send out do go to spam sometimes. So like it's good to kind of send them as a text as well.
Sure. So you could do that. Like you could create a user without having a definitive email, because you could make one up for them, basically. Like you're gonna have to fill out that email field, but it doesn't have to be an email that they have access to, as long as you're not relying on it for the reset password and you're not trying to verify their email in order for them to use the app. Right. So I would use
for the magic link to go away.
Yeah, so for the magic link with Cotter, what I would do is I would still create the user right? Because that's going to be important for tracking their actions and showing them the right things. But I would maybe set the slug as their phone number and then their email as their phone number at your domain, like at Total Mortgages.
Oh yeah.
Right. And then that way, like you're like, if you have their slug as their phone number and you have their email set to be their phone number, then you're tracking their phone number, right? Which is what you need in order to be able to use Cotter for the sign in.
Yeah. So what would I make the slug? So would that be the profile?
Well, the user, because you'd
Oh, the
still
user.
be creating a user because the user needs to be able to go to that link and be logged in.
Okay. All right. So maybe I could yeah, can we run through how the slug works? Because I've never used it.
Sure. So the slug is on every data type. There's a slug field with the text, and it has to be unique across all of the things in the database of that data type.
So you can't have two slugs on different data types can't match.
Right, exactly. On the same data type, you can't have two things in the database with matching slugs. So people use this for usernames all the time because your username would have to be unique on a platform.
Yeah.
Just like your email has to be unique. So like if I went to try to create a user right now and I tried to use this email, it won't let me because the email has to be unique. The same for the slug. If I tried to make a user with the same slug as this one, it wouldn't let me because it's already used. So the way you actually work that out is, let me just go to, that's your keyword, Kim, setting slugs or working with slugs. So if I have in here,
Slug, like SLUG?
Yep, setting slugs like that. So here in data, you can set a thing's slug.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could set it to be whatever you want, really. It doesn't have to be dynamic, right? So I can just use a number as long as this number isn't already, it'll throw an error if there's already a current user with that slug. Right?
Oh yeah.
Yep. So the way we handle that, so in this case, if I run, so right now, I don't know if I was setting slugs here. Where's my slug thing? Here, it's Tonya Aiossa. I'm going to reset that to 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I go in here and my slug is 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Yeah.
So that's how to work with slugs. Then what you would want to do is here is like for this button or for an input that you're using when you're like creating it, you would want to validate the button against whether or not that slug already exists, right? So I would come in here into set a condition that when I do a search for users where the slug equals 1, 2, 3, 4, count is greater than 0, then this element isn't clickable, right? So if I preview this, it should not be available. See, it won't let me click it because something already exists with that slug.
So how could I use, so how could I use that though? Like what benefit is
So
that gonna
I'm,
be?
yeah, so I'm not entirely familiar with how Cotter works, but my guess is you're giving them, so maybe explain how Cotter works to give them a link that then logs them in. Because what I don't understand is how you're logging them in without having a user.
I think it's more like a private page, right? So it's logging them into a hidden page that then anyone can see, but the data isn't actually relevant to that user.
Right.
I think it's more for like a membership site from what I can understand. So, you know, you've got two pages, one's open to the public, one's a paid membership. If you join up, you can then see that second page, but there's no data specific to that user.
Right. But I think the thing to remember though is that you're doing is that you're not just working with like random people. You're working with people who you're like exchanging sensitive information with.
Yeah.
So like I would want them to be logged in and to only allow that specific person. And I know that it's that specific person and not just somebody who clicked a magic link, like to be
Yeah,
able.
no, it's just I want to make it as seamless as possible, because a lot of people forget their passwords and then they create, like the system that we use at the moment, File Invite, it just sends a link and the clients can go to this landing page, and everything, like they don't need a password to log in, but you can't get to that landing page without the link. And it's only available for a window, so we only have it open for like 7 days anyway. And during that time, any files that get uploaded, as soon as the browser gets refreshed, those files are locked and you can't open them again.
Okay, so like a single use link kind of
Well,
thing, or...
it's not single use because it is open. It is open for a time frame. But once they've refreshed the browser, that they must, like, for instance, they must have a state that gets set with you know, just say the time when they open it, and then
So
any files they upload in that period would get set with that same state, and then when the page gets reloaded, that state changes, and then they can no longer open those files. So they can go back and forth to it as many times as they can, but they can't open the files again. So that's what I was trying to do, but then the privacy settings is a bit of an issue.
Right, which is why I'm like, so I do have an example of an app where we created a login-less login.
Yeah.
Let me review. I actually had the dev on it create a video on how he did it. Let me review the video and make sure there's not any like client information being given away. And then if I can, like, if there is, then I'll just create a sanitized version. But yeah, the idea, like the exact idea that you're talking about, you need them to be logged in for privacy purposes and for interacting with your app in the most elegant way, but you don't want them to have to log in and enter
at the
a
moment,
password.
I mean, until my app's like fully completed, which is going to be like a year away anyway, they are going to be logging into a secondary software and completing the application. So they're going to need a password for that. So I don't want to put a password on this document portal, because then they're going to have two passwords, and it's going to be like, you know, that they might not have the same password, and then they might get confused. So that's why I was just trying to go down the route of having this document portal part without a password.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. It's just tough managing users who, if you can't log them in and you don't want them to use a password to log in, that sort of thing. Like,
Yeah.
I understand the elegance that you're aiming for. Like
Yeah.
eliminating user friction is going to be huge. So yeah, let me check on that video because I know that we achieved it in at least 2 apps that I've worked on, where you have the user log in without having them enter a password. Basically, like you just click the link and they're logged in, but
Yeah.
then they're logged in so you can track what they're doing and you can keep them from seeing certain things, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, would a solution be for now to to set up the privacy settings and make the document requests. I'll just share my screen quickly.
Sure.
So portal request. So if I made it so the portal request is visible to everyone, and I made it so that there were no links back to anything. So I mean, this links back to an application. So rather than linking it back to the application, I just make a secondary text field, and then I just populate the name of the application over, so that none of these things link back to anything else in the database. But then I take them to that landing page and they can see all the document requests that are just on that one landing page. Would there be any other?
And then as
would
long
there
as
be-
like it's one way, right? So as long as they're uploading, but they can't see anything after they upload it.
Yeah, correct. So like if I go here, go into the so this is it here. I've made the little pop-up box yesterday. So then it goes, boom, how many recipients? 1, 2, 3, 4. So in this case, there's 2. We've got the text in there. We go next. We select which documents we want to send them. And then we go, boom, send. That'll publish it. Then if we take a look at what the client portal looks like, if I just send them this link here, and all of these settings here are just privacy settings are open so that anyone can see them. Can anyone else get to this link without the link?
I mean, if you have it so that it's not required that they log in to view that link and they can interact with it, then you don't have to worry about them logging in. And if all they can do is upload, and everything else is locked down with privacy rules, then I personally would not upload any sensitive information like you're asking for in a site that I wasn't logged into, because I wouldn't feel safe, but I'm not the average internet user. So is there, like, maybe we can ask for other opinions from the gallery here.
Well, I mean, I've been doing it for about 5 years and no one's ever questioned it.
Okay.
This is what it looks like at the moment. So
I don't know if I missed it or not, but is there like a keep logged in function at all? Like just keep the person logged in?
keep logged in feature, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You know, like when you just like, there is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you
there's a
wouldn't have to.
checkbox when there's a checkbox when you're logging them in. You can select keep logged in.
Right. So then it wouldn't really matter then, because they would most likely, if they're using the software often, then
think this
You're
is
not
more like a
constantly-
one-time use.
Oh, okay.
So for instance, this is how we do it at the moment, right? So we'll go boom, boom, review invite, send invite. Okay, and then you'll get a link in your email,
Yep.
and this is what it will look like. So if you go view portal, it'll take you straight there. So there's no, you don't have to log in. It just takes you straight here and says, look, we need these 2 documents. And then as you upload a document, you upload a document in here, that file gets uploaded. You can download it or you can trash it. Okay, but once you refresh the screen, it's now locked. So you can't open it again. You can
Got
still
it.
delete it. You can still delete it. So anyone else that gets into that link can't actually do anything with it.
Got it. But they could delete it.
Oh, they could delete it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but they can't download it and see it.
Yeah, but I mean, we'd just back it up anyway, right? So it deletes it out of the app, but we've still got it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
So
you
they
could
can't-
create that. I mean, you could create that by not gating that page and then having your privacy rules set up and then like on. I forget if the uploaders let you download what they've uploaded, but basically when you refresh the
Right.
page or you navigate away from it, it
Yeah.
would clear out the state of the uploader, but it's already saved to the database. So
Yeah,
and then you could like I would maybe go a step further that if they refresh the page, they wouldn't even be able to see what's there. Like personally, but you could share like the file name or something and but not give them any access to the file in terms of downloading it or whatever. I just worry that I wouldn't even want them to know what's there.
yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, but is anyone, I guess my question is anyone going to be able to get to this link? If they,
Yeah.
all we're doing is sending it in an email.
Oh, would they be able to like, I mean, no, so as long as you don't have it such that Google is indexing it, then nobody would know that it would exist. I guess they could try to guess that link, but it's highly unlikely.
You'd have to guess this number here, right?
Yep, exactly. You'd have to guess the link and the rest of it. Yeah, you'd
So
have to guess.
How would I know that Google's not indexing it?
If there's no, if the rest of your app is gated, so the link is hidden behind a login, then Google won't be able to get to it.
Oh, so right now would my app be hidden?
Yeah, so like as long as there's no path that's available to Google to go to your app and find this page itself, then it wouldn't index it.
It wouldn't?
So-
Okay. So do you reckon, do I need to check anything or for that?
No,
No, so
that's
you're
just
gonna lie?
how Google, if it can't log in, it can't.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So you reckon that's all right to make all those privacy settings just for that one thing? Open to anyone?
Yep, just open to. I don't. I'm thinking. I don't know if you have to give them access to even be able to upload, just to like change the database. Do you understand what my question, like what I'm not sure about? Like, I don't know if you have to give them access in the privacy rules to be able to, probably you'd have to give them access to attachments.
Oh yeah.
And the field that's going to store it, but yeah, I'm not sure. Other than
Do a
finding
text
an elegant way for them to log in without having to enter a password, I'm not sure I have the answer for you here.
Yeah.
Because you could allow anybody to like see or interact, or maybe what you do is send a link with a URL parameter, and then they're uploading it to a different data type altogether. And so they have access to a data type, but the data type itself is like you
Well, that
create
works.
a
Look,
new one every page load. Hey, let me try it. Let me
I
see
just
if
went
this
into
works.
incognito tab and I just uploaded this file here.
Yeah, but it looks like you're logged in. It's
Not
weird.
in the incognito tab, I'm not.
Oh, okay. So it worked?
It worked, yeah. See, look, I'll do it again.
I can't see your
No,
incognito.
no, but you'll see the document pop up.
Okay. And on the incognito
See?
tab, are you able to see it and download it, or you just are able to
You can't
upload?
download it, but you can see it.
You can see it?
It just looks like that. You can't do anything. You can click it. You can't click it.
Okay.
You can just see there's a document there.
I mean, does that satisfy you?
Yeah, yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
want. Yeah.
Okay.
And then, you know, obviously if I want to edit it, I'll just come on this side and I'll be able to muck around with it. I haven't set this side up yet for the documents, but so, you know, they'll be down there. But do you think that's fine?
I personally would check with like, I would check on the legal ramifications of exchanging this kind of information on your app. Like, and make sure you're covered.
Well, it's
'Cause
no different than them sending an email, right?
Yeah, but it's like you do have the link exposed and anyone can go to it. Am I the only one with that concern? Like,
I
No,
honestly
because
think
anyone
it's
else?
super risky. I think it's really risky to just send a link because people get crafty. These hackers are pretty crafty. They get access to your information. That's
like,
a lot worse
here's-
than taking the extra step of like logging in, right?
Here's like-
that's how
here-
they get access to. There's nothing there. It's all locked down.
well, yeah, but like, I have a,
Like,
I
okay,
have
even
a
if I send it,
workaround.
even if Thomas gets this link here, what's he gonna do? The only thing he can do is put in some of his files.
yeah, but you're exposing enough of the data type so that if it's not what you can see and do on the page, it's what you can see and do if you right click and click inspect, and you have access to like a whole bunch of other information that's being sent to the browser, and you can start interacting with the bubble server and doing things that are not on your page, right? Like we're not worried about the average user who doesn't know what they're doing. We're worried about the extra, like the extraordinary user who would know exactly what they're doing.
What information can you
So-
get out of here?
So I'm not a hacker, but if you don't have it locked down at the data type level, then you can query the database. You can do a bunch of things from the console and get information into the console and from the console that you might not want people to have. So my workaround that I have in mind for this, what I would likely do if I wanted that same functionality, but I didn't want to expose that data type, is I would create, I would probably, do you mind if I share my screen? And
Yeah.
I'll just create a prototype here real quick. So I would do something along the lines of, So you have a data type here called files, maybe like user files. And I want to be able to upload things into user files. So I have an account owner. This is like your profile or whatever, but in my case, I'll just do user here. And then file here. And then in the privacy tab, the only user I want to be able to see this is the user that it belongs to. So when this user files user is current user, and then I always put and current user is logged in, then they can see everything, and then everyone else is out of luck, right? So
But then they need to log in.
the problem here is the logged in part, right? The current user and the current user's logged in part.
Hmm.
Now, here's what I do is so these are user files, then, or I should say, yeah, user files. Then I'd come here and I'd make upload files, right? And I would have no user on this one. I just need the files themselves. And then I'd probably do, what is it? Yeah, unique ID. So we'll just do text for now. So on page load, like instead of sending them to a page that has the application associated with it or the user associated with it already or whatever, I would send in the link. I would use the user IDs, the user's unique ID in there, and then on the page load, create a new one of these, right? So here, the workflow on page load, we're going to make a new thing of upload file. And we'll set the unique ID will be get UID text, right? And then here I'll put a file loader, uploader. Let me try your way of doing it. There we go, that worked. Application, go to the same page. No, that's not going to work. So we'll send data to this group. Okay, so I'm going to make this group type here. And then after the page is loaded, I will display that data in that group. And then on on here, make changes to parent groups, upload files. Oh, did I forget to make it a list? Yeah, I did. All right. So now what I need to do, so when the page is loaded, every time the page is loaded, so if it's refreshed or if it's closed and somebody comes back, we're creating a new upload files here and we're grabbing the unique ID. So if they don't come with the UID in the parameter, then the unique ID wouldn't be set. They could upload files, but it won't be attachable to anything else in your database. So then we're going to take what we created here, display that in the group that's holding the uploader and the button. And then when we click the save button, we upload files to that thing that we just made. But it's sort of this anonymous, like random thing, right? So here in our privacy, upload files here, we can just make, well, we can leave it public. It's fine because it's being created all the time and the person can get the unique ID maybe if they search a bunch of them. Or let's see, maybe we still have the same problem here. So when this upload file unique ID. View all fields. View attached files. Let's see what it'll allow us to do. Upload files. Don't need to search for it. Okay, so D is not empty. Now I just have to create a page going to it that will fill in the unique ID. So like to create the link.
How is that different to what I've already done though?
So the difference is right now there's this thing is like not, it might not be different, but I'm not sure. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to separate out like this data type from anything else in your database.
But I've
So
already
that-
done that. I mean, that's what those portal requests, they're completely separate. So they don't pull
Okay.
through any information at all. So if like when it takes a name, it just takes a name and it just inserts it into a text box. Like it's not connected back to it.
Yeah, I think the only difference is instead of pre-creating the thing, when they refresh the page, it creates a brand new thing. Right? So you're not searching the database for anything to preload it on the page. The only thing you're doing is you're creating a new thing and you're giving it that text box. And so that there's no search on the page, or you're not searching for the thing using the UID, the UID that's in the URL parameter. You're just using the URL parameter to inform the thing that you've just created. Right? Because the way you have it set up now, they're going to a link with a URL parameter, and then you're having to search the database for that thing with that unique ID. But in my case, you're never searching the database. You're just creating a new thing in the database. You're informing it. And then when they refresh the page, it's a brand new thing that's created. So it's completely separate. I don't know if that's right or not. If anybody has any comments, if anybody's watching this and has any like knowledge of security and securing apps and things like that, you can let me know if I'm doing something completely wrong. But my concern is that if you have that link that is already predetermined of a thing in the database, that you're exposing that thing to people, and you don't necessarily want to do that. Did I answer your question, Jordan? Like,
Yeah.
about why, like, what's different about it?
Oh yeah, about what's different, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just an approach. And I don't know if it's right. I just, like, this way the person going there. So then what I would do is I'd create this link, right? So I have a button here instead of sending an email. Navigate, go to page, upload. Data to send, but we don't want them to be logged in. So I'll log them out first. State. Okay, then log the user out and go here, data send. Okay, so creating upload link, I'll have a user when I run this, but when I click the button, it will log the user out, and then it'll go to the page about login, and it'll send the user IDs as a text into that page. So that's what I want to test here. So I'll run this. So that worked. So click save. Refresh the page and I do it again. Okay, so now I should have two things in the database. Yep, with all of the files that I uploaded. But you see that when I refresh the page, it creates a new thing. So it's even though this stays the same, the thing that it's interacting with is brand new. And this is just informing that other thing. So then what I would do is I would use a database trigger.
Match it up.
Saving files and type, I'd call this upload files. So when upload files before change files is not empty. Is empty.
How long can you make them stay logged in for, Tonya?
What do you mean make them stay logged in for?
Like, can you make them stay logged in on that browser for indefinitely, or?
Yeah, like but nobody's logged in for this.
No, but I'm just thinking if they do log in.
If they do log in, yeah, it's basically until the cache clears. So it would depend on their browser settings.
Do you need a special setting for that, or will it just do it? Just keep them logged in?
No, there's when you log a user in. So if I go to, where's my upload here? Here, so if I was going to use this to log the user in,
Yeah.
you can set stay logged in as yes.
Oh, hold on. Let me show me that again. So make files, log a user in, stay logged. Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then that should persist. I find it works pretty well.
I guess what the other solution is, I could send them to a landing page, make them put in their email address and phone, and then can it do a back-end search and see if their email or phone number is there already? If it is, create a new user, log them in. If it isn't, send me an email to check it before I let them in, kind of thing.
That sounds reasonable. My head's very much in this not logging them in mode though.
Yeah.
So I'm trying. So let me hang on a second. So user files where user equals search for user unique ID equals ID item. Okay, so what I did was I created a trigger. The idea is that every time an upload files count changes, it makes changes to the user files belonging to that user.
Sure.
And so it finds their user files and it sets the list to be equal to that. And then what we can do here is we can say, make changes to upload files now, and we can clear the list. Clear list. So the files only last as long as it takes to move them from this extra thing we made into the right thing.
Yeah, yeah.
What do you think, Thomas? Am I going all extra here? Is that too extra?
No, I've kind of been in and out, so caught a little bit of that. But
All right.
I think just being safe is just the most important thing in general.
Yeah,
I think
the
it's even more
idea is
important than
just to-
optimize speed.
Yeah, I think it's just like making this temporary thing. So delete thing. Yeah, so just creating this temporary thing that exists only long enough that you can send it in to the database and then it disappears. And so that page, like they're not interacting with anything in your database anymore.
That's all that matters, really.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to check that out and see if like some of my other bubblers have any ideas or thoughts on it.
Yeah, okay, sweet.
Yeah. So you're gonna go ahead and pursue Cotter then? Or you're gonna try to do it yourself?
Nah, I don't think Cotter's really gonna work.
Mm.
But yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
All right.
Which way to do it yet? But yeah, I'll have to think about it.
Sure. Are there any other questions that we want to tackle today? We've got about 10 minutes left.
I'm good.
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah.
You're good. Awesome. Brittany or Mohamad, anything?
I have a small question.
Sure.
So on the page that I was working with the images, the portfolio images, I'm trying to see if I can get that to collapse if there are no images on the page, like, so it will be hidden.
Okay. Sure. Do you want to share your screen?
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get rid of my kids in the
It's okay.
background noise.
No worries.
Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, so here I want this group to collapse if there are no photos to be shown. So I press the, I have the element visible only. Do I need to take
So
that
I
off?
would, yeah, I would take that off and then I
Okay.
would check the box where it says
Collapse and hidden.
and then, yep, collapse and then go to the conditional.
Okay. So when
So Kim, for the keywords for this, hiding and showing based on conditions. So for this one, it's would just type repeating group.
okay.
So it's repeating group image or file, whichever one it is, the
was-
file, the image, okay. List of images,
Okay.
count is less than 1. Oh, sorry,
Oh,
the less than sign.
oh,
is then-
sorry. Yeah.
It's okay.
Then that's
Down to, there you go, less than 1.
Oh.
And then select a property to change when true. Or sorry, it should be greater than, because we hit it on the page load. So we're showing
Okay.
it, not, yeah, so make it greater than instead of less than. So greater than 0.
Oh, 0. Gotcha.
And then click this element is visible. There you
Okay.
go. That should work.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Also, I don't know, when we did something with the pictures, all of my pictures that were in my database went away. Like I had to add, I was doing that while you guys were doing other stuff, but I had to add all of this back in. I don't know. And I don't know.
Oh,
why.
probably because you were saving some of them to that other
Oh,
and we deleted it. We deleted that reference.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to see if this. Oh, of course it's not going to show here because I'm just going to delete. I just want to see if it works. Wonderful. Okay, great. Thanks.
You're welcome. Mohamad, did you have anything else for today?
I don't think so. No, that should be it.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah,
Well, thank
thank
you
you.
everybody for being here. Thomas and Jordan and Brittany and Mohamad and Kim. Appreciate having you here. And we will be back tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. For another episode of Office Hours. If you would like to join us for a complimentary session, we offer one to each member of CoCreative NoCode's Facebook group. You just go ahead and comment on the live video, or you can send an email to team@cocreativenocode.com and we'll get you the link so you can join us and see what Office Hours is all about. All right, take care, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.